Hello, this is Nigel for Weather Wars International, and it is New Zealand time 6:28 on the 7th, Sunday the 7th of October 2018. Damn, I had to think about that. Okay, so I want to bring you up to date on something that is very interesting. A couple of different things while I think about it. And so let's have a look. Just a couple of hours ago, I was messaging with Frank, my good friend Frank Devine from uh, Los Angeles, California, somewhere around there. Anyway, apologies, Frank, for inaccuracies here. And I said, well, we were sharing different links about if you are not familiar with this, Venezuela. It looks like there's going to be a war down here. There are US, appears to be US vessels hiding off the coast here. There is, and it looks like there's an imminent invasion of Venezuela, but there are quite a few dynamics to this problem. Russia and China have a very strong influence in this area as well, and they have some let's say military capabilities in the area as well. So in Venezuela, the Venezuelan president was over in Russia last year, I think it was, getting aid from Russia, military aid. So this is all a very interesting chess game down in the Caribbean. Oh yeah, and this does have a lot, by the way, to do with weather wars as well, as I'll come to point out. And so let me continue here. I watched a video which was by Florida Marcus, I believe. I don't know how you say that, but a good video, and he was pointing out all this, the politics of Caribbean as far as Russia, China, and so forth. And China has evidently invested quite a bit in these countries around here: Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and Russia has quite a bit of influence in this area as well, as I say. And America hasn't had a lot of attention on this area. They've kind of been missing out, ignoring it, if you like. And I think it's about to kick them in the ass, so to speak. Now, Venezuela, this whole thing of the Venezuelan collapse is definitely not because it's socialist. That is a reason that's been pushed, I believe, by the CIA. It's their enemy line, if you like, their black propaganda, and this is done. This is just normal operation for countries to use black propaganda. Particularly the US has been just marvelous at it as a weapon, using the media to justify their invasions, intrusions, aggressions, and so forth on various nations. We've seen that in North Korea and Libya, Syria, and the whole list, where they've used the word dictator and all of this kind of thing as ways to justify what they're doing. So carrying on with this, to get why they're big interest in Venezuela is because it's oil rich. It's a mineral and oil rich country, and and the US wants at it. And so the Venezuelan tankers, oil tankers, in order to get out, basically their best route, safest route, is to get up around here and out through the Panama Canal, right? Why up here? Because, well, basically because they've got safe passage here. The Dominican Republic is favourable to them. All of these countries here are favourable to them, so they can kind of just do a little route here and come out the Panama Canal. So, an hour ago, or sorry, as I say, a couple of hours ago, I was chatting to Frank about this, and I said, well, I wouldn't be surprised if I think he said something about he wouldn't be, perhaps there'd be a war in Panama or something, and I said I wouldn't be surprised if there's an earthquake there. Well, hello, look at this, and just came in. Haiti hit by deadly earthquake as tremor shakes capital city, right? 5.8 magnitude earthquake, right? Depth of 10k, right? The quake was centered 12 miles, so it's a very shallow, 5.8 and very shallow. Now, let's have a look at that. That's just on that Dominican Republic one, which shows up on the map here only as Dominican Republic, but that's Haiti there. And just really, we're talking just a hop, skip and a jump away from Panama. So that was real interesting. Maybe they didn't aim their device correctly, I don't know, but it just came in just really within a couple of hours after I mentioned this. So that was very interesting in itself. Excuse me, something I ate. Okay. Following on from that, there's another thing to watch. This is kind of an interesting area to watch at the moment, and I'll show you why on here. And that is that at the moment there are reports on all the American channels about an impending hurricane that's going to hit from down here, and it's going to move up somewhere down here, and it's going to move up and into South Carolina. And they're predicting this, right? Now, I see a hurricane here, and here, right? But let's just zoom in on this, and I'm not seeing anything here, right? You look at that, right? Nothing. Forgive my excitement and passion on all this, but it just doesn't add up. And we can actually, if we zoom in even more, you can kind of get, it changes the flow and stuff. But it's supposed to be coming from somewhere down here, and let me just adjust the height on this thing. It might change. Sometimes on different heights you can see we've got the height of the air. This is the airflow, right? So we've got it here. We can see it here, right? But if we look at this, I can, like here, we've got the wind speed, 48 k's there, right? Now, let's just try and put it there, 20 k's there, 11 k's, okay, so 58 k's, 62 k's, yeah, so 62 k's is about the fastest that I'm getting. Now, sure, this could pick up, but I don't know. It seems a little odd to me that they are saying, okay, this is going to be a hurricane. Well, it's not a hurricane at the moment. It's just, and sure, it could be developing, but they're certain that this is going to move up to South Carolina, which is over here, right? Now, if anything, right? This is going here. Well, you've got this wind flow coming through here, and I would say it would be coming up this way. That's just me, right? But as I say, for them to say, well, it's going to hit Southern Carolinas at the moment, is to me is a little bit odd. There is this big one over here, and to give you some sort of you know judgment on this, I'll show you what the wind speeds are here. You'll see 116, 122. So up there, 47. Okay, so it's this area here is 120. Yeah. So this is picking up some some wind speed. Now I don't think that is necessarily going to come back over this way, but who knows? At this moment in time, right? It's not a whole long way up to New York here either. So, but it's more likely to head, how would you say, eastward. But it does show you the size of this, and what we've got going on here is nothing much at this point at this stage. So that's a kind of a okay. Well, I'll just keep you posted on it, but it seems a little bit odd to me, a little bit premature to say that it's going to move up to the South Carolina. Okay, so here we go. So we've got this big earthquake in Haiti, possibly a war developing in the Caribbean. That is definitely something we're going to watch for. But I don't know. To me, if they hit that Panama with an earthquake, and they could get that Panama canal closed down, damn, that would be quite a coup for them, wouldn't it? And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I tend to be on the Venezuelan side because they have been so misrepresented. So this collapse of their economy has been through trade embargoes and just really they're really hurting the business for Venezuela. So there we go. That's how it stands at the moment. And I'll keep you updated as I can in the limited time I have. Thanks very much for your attention.